can get the baby over if he wants to get under the board. That's why he's got the road taking shot. He ain't gonna beat my buddy Bob though. I can tell you right now, he ain't gonna beat my buddy Bob. Oh, maybe he is too. No.
Alright, welcome to Hell on Dirt. This is In the Seat Driver's Interview. We got a special guest with us today. We'll let him introduce himself.
Well, I'm Brett Harrell. This is Change Order. We race this all over the place, and this is new to me, so I guess you guys have questions, I'll answer them.
So can you tell us what kind of vehicle this actually is?
This is a 2013 Jimmy Smith Bouncer. It's a little on the big side for a rock bouncer, but you know, we picked this thing up last year, and we've replaced everything on it, and we've kind of made it our own. And you know, these things are generally hill killers. They down in the south, back east, they do crazy big hills, wide open, never lift, just impossible hills. And this is, like I said, it's a little bit bigger than most, but we have taken this thing and we race, you know, TTC style racing with it over all kinds of different obstacles and courses.
So forgive my lack of knowledge, but what's that TTC style course?
Top Truck Challenge used to be a big competition down in Hollister Hills in California. You know, that four-wheel drive magazine, four-wheeler, would they'd put a vote in for drivers from all over the nation, and the readers would vote, and they'd take the top 10 guys and they'd go down there and compete for a week. 2015 was the last year they did that, and they shut it down. You know, there's been some other racing that's been started up, you know, that a lot of these guys that had these built rigs, they didn't have any place to go, you know, other than trail wheeling. So Ben Spitty with Mountain Havoc up in Bonners Ferry, Idaho, they started Havoc, and it's a brutal race. We've raced it twice now. Met a lot of great people, and we travel around to other races, you know, in Idaho. Winnemucca, you know, Winnemucca's another big race. It's going into its second year now. My buddy Leroy Latham, he runs that show. He's also the champion of Havoc, 3 years straight in Idaho. And I believe he's also a hard grass up in Canada winner. He's been racing a long time, and he throws that. So, you know, these rigs that we've got, you've got to do something with them. I mean, they're fun to go on wheel, but they're far above the average rig that you just go, you know, play in a mud puddle somewhere. You know, you want to go hit some big trails, rocks, hills, whatever. So yeah, I mean, that we got into the racing, and that's mainly what we do with it. We do trail wheel it every now and then. I'd like to do more of that this year, but this last year rebuilding the whole rig, we didn't have a whole lot of time for that. It was in the shop for 12 months. You know, we went through the axles, new motor, tranny, cases, everything, suspension, and you know, we'd get something done, and then boom, we're off to a race, and we'd come back and fix what broke and replace some more stuff, and off to another race. And right now I'm pretty happy. It's pretty set up. It's dialed in pretty good. There's a few issues we need to look at, but for right now it's doing pretty good. So we're happy with it.
So in other words, this isn't something that I take up into the forest and go play around in.
Not really. I mean, you could. It's a lot of fun anywhere you take it, but
Probably start knocking down some trees.
you knock down just about anything you hit. So, and yeah, it's fun either way. I mean, we've wheeled it, and we were at Hammers this year, King Hammers, and we wheeled it all over, and it was a lot of fun. We met a lot of great people, but that's the kind of wheeling we like to do, is big rocks, big trails, and with guys that have similar rigs and that can keep up. So
the races that you race, is it like a course setup? Is it just you and your buggy by yourself, or do you got like somebody like rally racer telling you left, right, which way to go, and all that stuff?
you do have a co-pilot, but they're marked courses. You walk them before you race, and there's generally 4 to 5 courses that you do. You're timed on each one, and then there's a point system. So each course is scored individually, and at the end of the competition, they tally the points up, and the guy with the highest points wins. So you could be running rocks, you could be dragging a huge tire behind you through a mud pit, be doing a hill climb, a rock course. It's whatever. We ran barrels down in Nevada last year on a motocross track, and it was a lot of fun. They placed barrels up on top of jumps, and you fly over there, go around the barrel. It's just like barrel racing, and it's just whatever you think up, whatever you want to do. Every rig will do it, and you're scored on time, and then you're allotted points. That's how these races work, and it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of great people. We've met a lot of friends and that are close friends, and the kids it's all family friendly.
So are you guys like Top Truck Challenge? They got the guy that gets out and gets the winch and stuff.
Right.
Do you guys get dock points if you have to use your winch going over anything?
No, no. There's no points being docked. You'll get dock points if you take a buoy out, you run through run off course. If you do not return to course in the same spot that you either broke the ribbon or back onto it, you will be docked points. So it's all in what they have for rules at each race, and you either abide by them or you get docked points.
So is it a very big, for this kind of vehicle or class, is it a very big class? I mean, is it consistently like the same people that you always each race, or?
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that have big rigs, but last year we raced Havoc. This year I believe 10 to 15 were returning. We had 4, 5, 6 that were new guys, but some guys can't make the trip. It's a lot of money to do this, and traveling. Most of our races are 500 miles away. King of Hammers for us was 1,030 one way. So most races are about 20 rigs per race, and you'll see new guys here and there, but for the most part you've got some diehard guys like myself that will hit every single race, and we'll race the same guys, but they're different courses, and that's what pushes you. If you keep getting beat, it doesn't matter who's beating you, you want to beat them, and you get out and you get it done.
No, that's really cool, man. This is an awesome rig.
So let's talk about what kind of safety gear you wear whenever you're out racing this kind of stuff.
We wear fire suits. It's mandatory at the races. Obviously 5-point harness. Neck braces aren't required, but they're strongly recommended. I'll wear a Hans device when we'll do something crazy. I'll throw a Hans device on, which is a head and neck restraint that straps into your helmet, and your harness keeps it down on your shoulders to keep your head from flying forward. Obviously a helmet, but other than that, rig like this, you better be wearing goggles. I mean, most of the time it's throwing mud all over you, but know, different races require different things, and I don't know. Some guys let you get away with a whole lot, and some guys, they hold you to everything. So, you know, like the extreme challenge next weekend, you must wear, you know, neck brace, and it's all what insurance is going to make them do. So
we'll be out there next weekend. We're actually filming out there and look for guys to put GoPros on their rigs when they're racing their track.
right.
I mean, I watched the last year and Bloodweight cleared that rock pit out there.
We weren't really expecting to clear it completely, but or almost into the rig, but it's, they say go, you go, you know. This year Hammers, I mean, they counted me down and they told me to go, and I hit the first rock. Blew a wheel, the driver front wheel, just tacoed the wheel and lost all air pressure immediately, and I ran the race on 3 tires. You know, it's really not too much of an adrenaline. I mean, there's an adrenaline rush, but I've learned to calm down a little bit. I think I'm a better driver when you're not so excited and worried about winning or losing. You know, I want to win, but it's not everything to me. It's out there to have fun and put a good show on for the fans, and just to see the little guys come up and want to sit in your rig, and, you know, adults that just, everywhere we go with this thing, people love it, and we've met a lot of great people doing it, you know. So
if like you were on like a, I guess, flat course or just even barrel racing or whatever, how fast does this thing go, or can it go?
We've
Or do you know?
the fastest we've had it was 74.5 on a track, an 8-mile track. We ran a 9.1. That was at a drag strip in Winnemucca. That was actually one of the courses that they had set out for us. It wasn't my favorite course, I'll tell you that. The suspension unloaded on it, and it was all over the track, and when you're going that fast and you've got K-rails this high and your tires are bigger than them, you know, a lot of stuff can happen real quick. But yeah, 9.1, 74.5 miles an hour, and we were on the rev limiter before we even got to the trap, so it gets and goes right now. That was with the old motor. We've got a new motor in it now that's building even more power. So
What kind of motor do you run in this?
this is a 5.3. It's a Texas Speed and Performance, all aluminum, forged bottom end. All the stock specs, we haven't changed anything. This motor, the original motor that was in it, was a stock bottom end 5.3. Now the top end's a different story, and I don't talk about what's in it. There's a lot of guys that ask, but we have a precision turbo on it, single turbo. A lot of guys are confused and I think we're running twins on it, but it's a single, a big single. And we've never dynoed it, but it's up there. Some are saying 1,000 to 1,100. You know, we've raced guys that have been dynoed at 1,000. Obviously, weight to horsepower ratio is different, but for what it is, it doesn't really matter what it's got. It goes. So
out of all the different tracks, 'cause I've heard you talk about a lot of different tracks, a lot of different courses, what is your favorite by far?
Race-wise, for our style of racing we do, Havoc hands down is my favorite race. It's a brutal race. I don't like what it does to my rig, and I don't like the cleanup from it, but the courses are flat out awesome. You know, it's about as nasty as it gets, and the videos don't do it justice. You know, the holes are deep, the rocks are fun, everything about it is a lot of fun. Big races, King of Hammers hands down. But we just raced the shootout. That's a 30-second race, you know, through the backdoor challenge. That was a lot of fun. Just due to the fact that we didn't really have an agenda. Every day we woke up when we wanted to. We camped with a bunch of great people. We raced one night, and we had a whole week of just playing. And you know, best run event would be Winnemucca by far. There was never a break in the day. We went course to course to course, and when we were all done, it was kind of bittersweet because we were done and we knew we were going to awards, but we didn't, you know, it was early in the day and we just didn't have anything else set up for it. But yeah, I mean, for our style of racing, Havoc hands down. I mean, it's what we do. Yeah, it's a rock bouncer. It's made to do just about anything, but you go to smaller races and you can't show what the buggy's capable of doing, you know, on a short course track, or, you know, just having one course. People can't see what it's capable of doing unless they see a bunch of different things, and Havoc will make or break you real quick. A lot of guys break up there, you know. It's like I said, it takes a lot of money to build these things, and a lot of time in the shop, and if you don't have strong parts, you break immediately and you just wasted a 500-mile trip for nothing. So race wise, that is. So
What's your flex size on this?
what's my what?
Your flex size? Like if you're flexing it and stuff?
I've never truly got it up an RTI ramp and got a good measurement on it. The RTI ramp was coming off the ground on the other side, but we run, you know, 20-inch ORI struts on it, so it's got a lot of travel. They work great. But yeah, we have not run an RTI ramp that we've been able to keep on the ground and figure out the ratio. So it's got a 139-inch wheelbase, and I believe that what they marked me down as was like 129 that I traveled up the ramp. Whatever the ratio is, I don't know. I don't get involved with that. They tell me go and I go. So but yeah, I mean, just when we got the buggy, it had 16 spline Overson's axles in the front and rear. We changed them to 47 spline violators. Got Detroit lockers front and rear. Got the Overson Wicked 6 hubs. We got Fearless Fab knuckles on it. We changed the suspension. It had FOAs on it that didn't work at all. So we put these ORIs on there. They've helped out a lot. You know, other than cleaning everything up on it, it was a clean build when we got it, but it wasn't waterproof and ready to race Havoc style racing, you know. So we've also since then replaced the tranny with a Hughes Turbo 400 that PTC built for me. They picked us up and helped us out big time on you know, the pricing. JB Fap out of Almsville here. I run his shifters. Yeah, Northwest Fab. We have their Titan box in right behind the 400, and then we've got a 205 with their 34 spline kit in that. You know, so all these guys, they've taken care of me really well. Lux Lights, you know, a local shop here out of Salem. They hooked us up with some lights. You know, I don't know. And then at the LCQ, I believe it was the end of April, we blew the motor on it, and Texas Speed and Performance helped us out and got us a motor built real quick to where we can make Havoc. So other than that, and you know, a roof and rewiring a bunch of stuff that didn't work, and we added a rear winch to it and running Evolution Heim joints on it. They're all rebuildable Heims on this thing for the tie rods, 4-link, everything. So yeah, we've got a lot of time into it, a lot of stuff that people don't see. It'd be really nice to be able to just say, here you go, if you're made of money, and have somebody just build something the way you wanted it. But you know, these rigs are expensive. And
so is this just a front steer, or is it both?
It's front and rear steer. My rear steer is controlled on my shifter, actually. Got a rocker switch on top of my shifter, and rock it left or right, run the rear, and then that little green button is a return to center. run Leroy Latham's return to center rear kit. You know, you get them dialed in and you can turn it left or right, hold that green button, and it'll straighten right back up to where it's supposed to be. So you're not looking back or trying to look back when you're harnessed in to see where your tires are. Other than that, I mean, I don't really know what else we've done to it. I built the roof on it. I had to pretty much rewire it right before Havoc. I run an ARC board, you know, electronic board, and it all shorted out on me, so we had to go through and do that. Yeah, I don't know. We've messed with the steering. We've done all kinds of junk on this thing, and it just, you race it a little bit, you come back, you change it. You know, we've got a guy at Team 208 Motorsports. His name's not on the buggy, but he tunes my motor for me. He's out of Coldwell, Idaho, and he does the tuning on this buggy. But I mean, other than that, I mean, it's a pretty straightforward rig. When it comes to a big rig like this, you show up and you see a lot of guys running the same stuff or similar to. A lot of guys run claws like this. I run Ags and claws. The Ags, they worked great up there, so you pick and choose your tires where you want to go. The claws are really good for dry conditions and rocks, but if you start playing around in a bunch of mud, the Ags are definitely going to wake this thing up a little bit and give it the traction to go.
So before you started racing this kind of truck or this kind of racing, did you race anything else or ever do any other kind of racing?
If you want to consider a racing, I mean, everybody back in the 90s and early 2000s were into mud bogs. You know, we did the mud bogs in Sheridan, Willamina. You know, I think we did some up in or down in Sweet Home. We did some up in Mahama. You know, it was just another reason to get your truck out and run it. You know, but yeah, I mean, it's not like it was ever any big racing, but it was fun to get out. It was competitive. You know, they used to actually run a mud bog, I think even in Sublimity years ago that we did, but my budget allowed me to do very little back then, and you know, somebody said let's race, and I was in. If I could make it and it looked like it was fun, we would go. So we drag raced a little bit, but nothing serious. This is about as serious as excuse me, about as serious as it gets for me in the racing. But you know, you watch videos of this buggy and it don't look like it's moving very fast, but it's getting there in a hurry. It's just, I don't know, it's a long, big buggy, and it doesn't look like it's moving at all. So it's a lot of fun.
Excited to see you race next weekend down in Sublimity.
Yeah, we got that, and then we've got Reedsport too. You know, we're putting a show on this year down in Reedsport. What is it? I believe September 8th through the 10th. It's Smith River Shootout. You know, a lot of people have asked us if we're ever going to throw a race here in Oregon. We've tried. The counties and permits and all the laws and garbage that they come up with. You know, you've got to ask for permission to do everything around here, and it doesn't matter where we go, what state we go to, there's a race and there's no issues. So that's why we go out of state. Our state doesn't allow us to do this kind of crap. Pretty ridiculous, I think. So that's why we're going to Reedsport. You know, they're a little bit more lenient on things down there, and we're going to go down there and race, and we're gonna see what we got down there. We're bringing a lot of big guys out of state that have committed to showing up. You know, we'll see if they make it, but it'll be the big dogs showing up. It'll be a lot of fun. You'll see what these rigs are actually capable of doing. We'll have a big rock course, but yeah, it'll be fun. You guys need to come down and see that one as well. So
I just have to make a trip down there.
yeah, September 8th through the 10th, and it's a Smith River Shootout. So family friendly. You guys can camp there. We're hoping for a big turnout. You know, if it's a big turnout, we'll probably do some more races here. Yeah, we've also got Barnyard in Reedsport, same facility. That I believe is August 26th and 27th. But they do a race down there every year. Barnyard has always happened, but I've never raced that race. I always seem to be antelope hunting or something. So
Really cool. This rig trips me out. It's so cool. It's definitely unique. You don't see a lot like them.
no, there's a couple of them here in the state. There's this one, change order buggy, and then a teammate Justin Haft. He runs X-Rated, which is also a bouncer, green bouncer, and we travel together. We run every race together, you know. And he's a very good driver, very competitive, and he's a top guy too. This year at Havoc, I placed second, 1 point, 2 points, 1 or 2 points behind Leroy Latham from Nevada, and then Justin was 1 point behind me. You know, I think we gapped fourth place by almost 30 points almost. So us top three guys we left everybody in the dust at that race. So they said that these bouncers would never keep up with Havoc rigs, and they keep up, and they're definitely knocking on the back door. So but you know, we've met a lot of great people doing this style of racing, and my wife is friends with all the wives, and I'm friends with all the drivers, and you know, the kids, they all have fun, and it's just a great time, and it's a reason to get out of here for a little bit. So
Have you actually ever had this thing upside down?
not this one, no. I don't even like talking about that, but no, not this. You know, you get in this thing's pretty stable buggy. It's 139-inch wheelbase, like I said. I think it's 106 wide. It's pretty low to the ground for this style of rig. Well, not a bouncer, but like a big tire Havoc style rig. It's a lot smaller than most, and it's light. It's around 5,000 pounds. And you really don't know when you're in the rig. You know, we've been at the edge of rolling several times, and you don't know. I mean, you just continuously hold it to the floor and go, and most of the time it comes right out of it and you're good to go. But it happens so quick, you don't even realize it. So luckily I have never done that with this one.
What size tires you got on this? Are they 54s or?
Yeah, these are 54s. We run a double bead lock wheel with an insert to where if we blow a tire or whatever, the tire will stay on the wheel and continuously move. You know, just keep going. We blew 2 tires up at Havoc this year, both passenger sides, and I completed the rock course with it. So it's important to have bead lock wheels. Like I said, we run a set of Ags as well. They're 16.9 R24s. We've cut those tires, and scooped them out, lightened them up a little bit, and added some side traction to them for cornering. But this is mainly what I race with, are these tires right here. You know, we hit hammers with it, Winnemucca. I think the only race my first race was this year with my Ags. So, and we ended up having to throw 2 of these on the front this year because I smoked 2 Ags. So, but, yep, 54s is about what you see on these rigs.
So do you have any kind of like social media, YouTube or anything? Like if people want to go and check you out and watch what you do and everything?
Yeah, we have a Team Change Order page, and then we've also got Team Change Order on Instagram as well. My wife takes care of most of that stuff. I get on Facebook, but or you just look me up. Most people just look me up by my name, Brett Harrell. So, but yeah, I mean, Busted Knuckle this year, they showed up and filmed it at Havoc. Mad Ram 11 was there. Gearhart Productions was there. You know, there's drivers that came from all over the place. You know, buddy Jimmy Smith from Missouri, he came and made the trip. My buddy Matt Christian from Oklahoma, he made the trip out. Utah, Nevada, Oregon. I believe we had, well, the recovery crew was from California. A lot of Canadians came down. You've got all walks and kinds that show these races and different ideas, different style of rigs. Some are trucks, some are buggies, some are truggies. But it's all one common goal, and that's to race and see who's got the baddest rig. So
Brett, would you like to talk about your sponsors? Who sponsors this rig during your racing and all that?
yeah, we've got a bunch of good guys that take care of us. Like I said earlier in the video, PTC transmissions. Actually, it's performance torque converters, but Ed Bindall builds my transmissions for me. He does a great job. Lux Lights out of Salem. They've given us our rock lights. JV Fab. He built my shifters. He also does any kind of cutting for me on his plas table. ORI Struts, they take care of me on my suspension. You know, Northwest Fab, like I said earlier, with my transfer cases and you know, any part I need for that, they take care of me. One that you can't see is Western Canadian Rockwell. You know, they're a big help. That's who I buy some of my tires from, and they give me a huge discount on that. All my ag tires. You know, all of these guys have helped me out a bunch, and you know, it's these companies are on my rig because they're great companies, and trust me, there's not big money exchange. It's just that these companies are the ones that take care of us, and we do not wait. You know, and last but not least, Team 208 Motorsports. Josh West tunes my buggy, and you know, he's not a huge name, but he's a pretty big name in the U4 world. You know, Ultra 4 Racing. He tunes Randy Slosson's bomber car. He does all of his tuning, and Josh takes the time when I need him to tune on this thing. He'll take the time to show up at a race or whatever. I just go to his shop and he takes care of it. The guy's legit. He knows what he's doing, and a lot of guys are confused on this motor because it's turboed, and there is zero turbo lag on this thing. I mean, if there is, it's a less than a second, and he's got it dialed in. And great guy, great family. But all of these guys have been a big help for me, and I appreciate all of them. So
Really awesome. So how about the name, Team Change Order?
Oh, Change Order was that was kind of a joke between some of my builders and I. They really didn't know that I was going to name this buggy that. Some of them don't even know, but Change Order is when you adjust a contract. If they add work to a job, you send them a change order. And to be honest with you, I don't make any money on change orders. I actually lose money on them, but it seems fitting because most people, they would think that I bought this or built it or whatever with money from change orders, and it's the complete opposite. So people have said that if I ever got another buggy, we should name it Back Charge or something. You know, it's something different and it's catchy, so I like the name. I thought it was funny, so that's where that came from.
It's really cool. It's nice that you have a little story.
But yep, but that's about it. Yeah, all these guys are pretty awesome. I appreciate all of them. So
Awesome, Brett. Well, thanks again, man. Really
Alrighty.
appreciate you taking the time to talk
Thank
to
you.
us.
Okay. And we'll see you this weekend.
yeah, this
Good luck
weekend
out there.
we'll be there. We'll be there and put the best show on we can for what's given to us. So alrighty, well, thanks guys.
Thank you.
You're gonna like this. Woo! Up on the front tires. He can tip the baby over if he wants to. He's done it before. That's why he's got the roll cage he's got. He ain't gonna beat my buddy Bob though. I can tell you right now, he ain't gonna beat my buddy Bob. Oh, maybe he is too. No. There we go. What are you going to do with this one? Oh, he's going to hit it. No, he ain't. I wonder if he's letting Bob drive that thing. Alright, we're going to run this guy, then we're going to have a little bit of an intermission. This is in the open class. Brett Harrell. He got the Jimmy Smith bouncer. You're going to like this. He's off. Woo! And up on the front tires. He can tip the baby over if he wants to. He's done it before. That's why he's got the roll cage he's got. He ain't going to beat my buddy Bob, though. I can tell you right now, he ain't going to beat my buddy Bob. Oh, maybe he is, too. No. Yeah. Okay. All right. Here we go. Here we go. All the way down around the outside. There you go. Oh, he's going to hit it. No, he ain't. I wonder if he'd let Bob drive that thing. 52.75. 52.75. Well, he did beat Bob by 2 seconds. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a little break. Going to play you a little music. Grab yourself a beer.
Besides his own outfit.
Like, he died, I was like, hold the fuel switch. Yeah, I jumped out the first thing I was going to do.
$100,000 wrapped up, $2,500 a piece just for the tire. And I mean, he's good. There you go. Right up over the top of it. Who cares? There you go. Back in's a little squirty with that water up there. Getting over there, yeah. That's that one. Doesn't quite happen.